Hi, welcome to another episode of Time Out with Gabii. With me here is the king of our hearts, Gabe. Welcome to my show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. How are you feeling today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Great, it's pretty nice outside.
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah, so let's get into it. Can
Yeah.
you tell us what your childhood was like? You're coming out to your family,
Oh,
and
we don't need to go through all that drama.
so this is a little bit therapeutic. Like, we have to relive everything, so that way we can know more about you and like people who and give people the courage to like come out to their family.
Yeah.
Like me, I haven't come out to my family yet. So
Oh, okay. I didn't know that actually.
right, no.
Yeah.
But we're saving that for when I'm the guest on the show. So we'll
Okay.
see.
All right. Uh, yeah, I would say my family itself. I mean, my mom and my dad have been really supportive. It was kind of like, I was about 18 or 19, and my mom was just kind of like, "Do you have something you want to tell me?" When
Really?
yeah.
She knew.
Yeah, there was something coming on. I think there was like some gay content on TV or something.
Ooh.
And that's when she just decided to, rip the band-aid right off of me. Like, come on. Like, I already know. So, uh, yeah, no, that was pretty easy, and yeah, they've been great. Some of my extended family were pretty upset by it. It was, my mom was getting calls from my aunts and my uncles being like, "Do you know what your child's doing? Do you know what they're posting about on social media?" And my mom's like, "So."
Exactly, which is
So
great.
yeah.
I hope a lot of mothers out there can like be more supportive of the parents. Someone in the previous episode mentioned that it was so heartbreaking for their mom,
Mm,
and like it was just tough. So your mom being supportive, like there's nothing in this world that can be a supportive family, trust me.
mhm.
But yeah, so how was your life growing up? Sorry, we were 18 at the time. So
Mhm.
like when you were in high school, like did you give any signs so people know like how did you interact with your friends in school and everything?
Yeah, it's interesting because I had a lot of before I came out to my family, I had a lot of internalized homophobia towards myself. I would kind of like carry
Everybody
like a
did.
rubber band on my wrist and slap
Oh my
myself with it
god.
every time I like caught myself thinking about girls and in that way. Just like as a way to kind of try and condition myself to be straight. Um, but yeah, I can remember like watching RuPaul's Drag Race when I was 14 and being like, "Oh my goodness, like this is amazing." And but at the same time, I still had like that thought in my head, like, "Oh, I think gay people should be able to exist and be happy and not get hate for it, but I don't think they should get married because that's like a sacred union
Yeah.
under God, because I was brought up religious."
Me too.
Yeah. uh, Not religious anymore, but
Okay.
definitely had a lot of yeah, a lot of those teachings so deeply ingrained in me, and yeah, I had like a lot of like hatred towards myself for that. So yeah, I also a fair bit of people know this, but I grew up in Mobile, Alabama. So
Really? In the
yeah,
States?
yeah, in the
Oh my
States.
god.
So it's very, very, very conservative. You go there and there's like, all of my neighbors probably have like some form of Trump sign on the
Yeah.
lawn, on like,
Country people.
yeah, Confederate flags everywhere,
Oh
on
my god.
T-shirts, like hanging up on houses. Like it's very,
How were you able to be different?
um, I mean, it kind of came naturally to me. It was almost like I just couldn't help it. I, uh, I was definitely like a very obviously neurodivergent child. The daycare workers was like, "Yeah, I think you need to go get her checked out," straight like to
Really?
my mom, because I was just, I was very hyper and random and coming up with my own language to speak in. I was always a bit of an oddball, and yeah, so definitely that came naturally to me, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I say at some points, because with that comes all the bullying and, you know, being ostracized and feeling like very lonely, like nobody understands me, and going into my angsty emo era where
I've been there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a phase you have to learn. Self-love helps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to outgrow all these things and become the person you want to picture yourself to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look at you, you're a superstar now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I love that little trend. I think it's going on TikTok and Insta lately, where it's like, I wonder if people back then who knew me look at me now and think, yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Like, I'm sure there's a lot of that going on with me right now. So
after high school or at 18, when you came out to your parents,
mm-hmm.
what was next for you? Like, did you go to college? Did you work, or what did you do after that?
I briefly went to university. I wanted to be a veterinarian, so I was studying biology. I was always very good at science in school, so you know that was definitely the path I wanted to take. But just struggles came up financially, in particular, and I just really didn't have the supports in place to continue going to school. So I just stopped doing that and started working. And then I'm like, I don't think I want to be in Alabama anymore. I want to go out. I want to see the world. I want to, you know, travel and just see what it's like living in a different country. So I started looking into like being an au pair, which that didn't work out in particular. But like I met a whole bunch of like internet friends, like people from all across the world, and ended up meeting this person from Canada who I ended up getting involved with, and they lived in Edmonton.
Okay. You're hearing that on my show.
So yeah, that's essentially how I moved here. I actually ended up marrying that person so I could get permanent residence here. I was like 23, did not know what I was doing. Don't get married at 20. I mean, if you really want to, I just know myself a lot more than I did back then now, and yeah. Anyways, it didn't end up working out between the two of us. But you know, I had my permanent residence. I really like it here. The free healthcare is nice. I don't have to, you know, don't have to worry so much about my identity. Like I have so much more of a sense of community here in Edmonton than I ever had back home. You know, there's it's definitely like gotten better there from what I can see from a distance. But yeah, just being here and getting to experience the Edmonton drag scene is something that I just feel like I'm meant to be here, if that's a thing. But you know.
Yeah. So speaking of the drag scene, can you walk us through how you got into the drag scene and what year?
Yeah. I mean, I started going to drag shows pretty much as soon as I've been here since 2017. So I probably started going late 2018.
I wasn't even allowed in bars.
Okay, all right. We don't need. I'm aging myself out here, you know. But yeah, I started dating a drag queen who I'm still with now, Christy Healy, and you know, more relationship stuff.
You
getting the
tea.
On the next but yeah, I kind of you know, I was definitely really into it. Like I said, I had been a fan of drag at least since I was 14, watching RuPaul, and it was so cool to actually get to experience drag live in front of my face. And then I didn't really have a whole lot of knowledge of drag kings at that time, but then I watched the ICWR put on a production of Burlesque, and it had Colin Bay and Bravo Charlie in it. And I was just like, yes, this is me. This is what I need to do with my life. This is gonna just become my whole personality now. So yeah, that's basically what happened. I struggled with the makeup a bit at first, and feeling
now you're killing it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I'm definitely proud of how far it's come, and even like shocked myself a little bit with how
and
good.
Shocked us as well because the stiletto performance Like we're gonna talk about that for just
Of course, I should have known that was coming.
no script.
Yeah.
So can you walk us on how the Stiletto performance came about, the rehearsals, everything, and
Mhm.
I don't know, was it a planned duet or did someone call someone to go into this together?
Um, El Rey was just kind of like bouncing the idea off of me. I think we were at karaoke actually when
Oh,
he was talking about it to me. I was like, yes, yes, this like sounds amazing. Let's
because
do
we
it.
still have a duet to do. I still have a duet to do with him.
Oh yeah, he's truly amazing to work with. Such like a creative, thoughtful person. Like there was no detail in that duet that didn't have a thought behind it. Like
Oh
he
my
would
god.
like, and I mean a lot of that was me too. I did some work, but like, definitely all the conceptualization was definitely on him. He did an incredible
He's so
job with
smart.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was
You both executed it perfectly. I must say that. Like
thank
from the
you.
cheer, like you all got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Like that was like top
Both
notch.
times we performed it, we got a standing ovation.
Really?
So we'll see if we get a third standing ovation in July. Um,
So what is your favorite performance ever since you debuted in drag or burlesque?
oh goodness. That's a hard one for me. I would say like I'm Your Man is something that always brings me a lot of queer joy to perform. Like you can see that all over my face when I perform. But I also, I don't know, I'm really proud of my David Bowie inspired number that I did. A lot of work went into that. And yeah, it's hard for me to not pick my duet with El Rey as like being like my ultimate favorite,
Right?
because like it's just something like so beautiful and profound and something that had never really been done before, at least not in this drag scene here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And speaking of that, I remember there was a time I messaged you.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
That shit has been haunted.
I'm like, do we need to go off camera for this?
I remember. So after that performance, I was like, "Oh my god, I love the way." Like I thought, like you were Hispanic or something,
Mhm.
right? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And I just said it, and you're like, "Does my look give?"
Like what I'm sorry, what did I do to give you that impression? I'm so
I was like, "Oh
sorry.
my god,
I'm
am I
like
getting canceled today?"
no, I'm like I'm getting canceled. I'm gonna cancel myself after this. But no, no, I yeah,
But now I'm glad you're able to like clarify that you're from Alabama, right?
yeah, yeah, no.
I would like you have the curls and everything, you know. I
Well,
like
I have my grandparents immigrated to the States from Sicily, so yeah,
oh
I'm quite Italian. I have the very
oh.
strong Italian
I was like,
genes.
because that was one of the things I thought about, right? I was like,
Yeah,
oh my god, the curls. That, but yeah,
yeah.
that's that. So can you tell me about your least favorite performance? Because we all have one.
We all have them. Um, hang on, gotta. I've probably blocked it out at this point. Um,
Just tell us so we can go watch it. Just
right. No, I would have taken it off Doe by
me too.
now.
I exactly like my least favorite performance. I
Mhm.
told her please take it out.
Yeah. I did a performance of Let's Go Crazy by Prince for the Doe Show. That was
Okay.
back in 2020. No, maybe. I can't remember. Time is so weird after the COVID
Time flies,
vortex.
right?
It's,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I did that, and it was, the Doe Show, you get to do one number of your choosing that's more of your style of drag, and then the people who were running Doe at that time chose a number for you. Yeah,
Oh.
so something that they just wanted to see you do that was like out of your comfort zone, and
Yeah.
I definitely tried to take that and make it my own and do what I could with it and be a little more silly than I usually am, because I like to be like a little more
Yeah.
intense through my performances. Um, but yeah, I had a couple of stunts that didn't go right. I had a couple like a little wardrobe malfunction. I had something that I thought was funny and didn't really pay off, and yeah, I like to I like to forget that ever happened.
Right.
But
blocked.
blocked, totally blocked. But you know, it does happen to everybody, and
Sure.
you know.
Like, yeah, I don't want to talk about mine. So I know I observed like in 2021 you what's it called? You won the King of Hearts.
Hmm.
So what was that like for you? Like going against other kings, like
Hmm.
and winning because I know I've been in a competition and I've lost a Argentina. I know how that hurts, but you winning, like what was that joy for you?
Hmm.
Like can you walk us through the preparation and everything?
You know, it's interesting because it was like a digital performance at the time when
Really?
yeah, because
2021,
yeah,
okay.
because at the time, yeah, it was very early in 2021, and sorry, uh, yeah, things were still shut down with COVID. We couldn't do in-person shows, but we still wanted to, you know, have our pageants, uphold our traditions, raise some money. Um, and that was, I was kind of like, well, if I'm going to debut, like it's kind of convenient to do it like through a video where I can like
Do
pick,
your thing,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly, like pick out little things. So yeah, um, yeah, I just kind of put that video together. My wonderful partner filmed it about 30 times for me before I got a take that I liked all the way through. Because I didn't do like, you know, I did it just like one take, not like music video style, which some
Yeah.
people did. But I wanted to do it like I was like actually on a stage.
Right.
And, you
Was
know,
that your first competition?
yes, yeah, it was the first thing that I ever like really, really did in drag. So,
Oh my god, I'm so happy
yeah,
for you. Like,
yeah.
has there been other competitions after that or no?
No. I might be doing a little something, something.
Okay.
My um, the competition, the urge has come back to do that.
To
So
win again.
yeah. So well, yeah. Perhaps we'll see. That it's really tough competition out there. So
Really tough.
yeah. Um, so yeah, we'll see how those two things go. I'm doing.
So a lot right now is going in the States. It's happening right now in the States.
Hmm.
Personally, I don't think I would ever like. I don't know, but right now, I don't think I'll ever visit the States because of how things are down there. You know.
Hmm.
So, what is your thought about what's happening in the States with all this drag queen bans and like no reading of books to kids and
Hmm.
everything? Like, what's your take on it?
It's really just mind boggling because, you know, drag has been around forever and like nobody batted an eye when it was, you know, Mrs. Doubtfire or Tu Wong Fu, you know, like it was very, very normalized, and it's just kind of, you know, come up with this resurgence of hate. And yeah, it's just, ugh, yeah, it's really disheartening and really scary for me, especially like, you know, I was planning to go visit my family
Oh my
this year. I'll
god,
probably still go visit my family this year, but like,
out of drag.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I wanted to bring my drag with me,
Yeah,
and now there's like a whole other layer now that I've come out as genderqueer, and I worry about like going on hormones and how that's gonna affect, you know, me being maybe a little more visibly queer in a place like that. You know,
yeah.
I've always said that I would never bring my partner there because, you know,
Okay.
my partner being a very visibly queer person, I would fear for her safety. So
In the States, right?
yeah, so and especially like with the lack of gun control
Oh my
here,
god, that is one of the
it's
major reasons.
yeah,
Cause
it's extra scary, and I don't understand like it's just so backwards. And yeah, I feel like if people like actually got to know drag performers and sat down with us and would just like keep an open mind, like they would just like, I don't know, see that we're just people. And that's what, like, I've been trying to do that a little bit with people who um are on the wrong side of the fence right now. I've just been
yeah,
trying to like have gentle conversations, but it's definitely tough. It's a lot of emotional labor to try and talk to these people who,
yeah,
you
true.
know, it's I read a really great, I wish I
What's it
could
called?
remember, sorry.
article?
Well, like, yeah, an excerpt from an article, and there was this wonderful quote where it was like, it's hard to reason with somebody who didn't use reason to get to the hateful viewpoint that they have.
True. True.
So yeah, it can be difficult, but I have broken through to like a couple of people, I think, who are maybe,
Yeah, we all have,
yeah,
people in our lives who think, oh, this is not right, this is right. I saw a post today on Instagram that I can't remember what it was, but it has something to do with religion. Like, okay, yeah, it says you believe you believe someone up there you believe someone up there loves you, but only when you're a certain way.
mm-hmm.
How is that possible? How does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes absolutely no sense, and yeah, it's so backwards reading the kind of arguments that they have.
True.
It's like everything can be coded a different way to, well, just about everything, can be catered towards children. Like Celine Dijon, who said that.
Yeah.
Who said that there's movies for kids and there's
Yeah.
books for kids and there's movies for adults, there's books for adults. Like,
Exactly, you wouldn't want like a queen or performer going to read a book to a child to go there wearing a bodysuit.
yeah, I mean,
It's not possible.
Depends on the bodysuit. I mean, you get kids in dance competitions wearing
Wearing
less than some drag queens are doing performances these days. So
Who's to be blamed here, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not like we went to get the kids from their house.
yeah,
Their parents voluntarily brought them.
yeah,
So how on earth are you coming to us that we're the problems?
yeah. I mean, some of them, they feel like, if it's in the schools, how can they control it? They can't like pull their kid out of the school and like.
Sure, yeah. That still doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
You
like
don't bring your kids to school.
yeah. Don't like sacrifice their whole education so that they don't have to see or hear about a drag queen.
If it's so important to you.
Yeah, but it's just, kids are wonderful though, because they just don't see all of that. They see like sparkle and glitter, and like it's just like somebody being just the most embodied person, or like just.
It's just like, sorry to cut you short. It's just like saying Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like forever Santa Claus or Father Christmas or whatever they call them would always remain in my head. Oh, the red and white, So that way, even when the kids see a drag performer, like you said, the sparkles and everything would live rent free in their head. But Dad wouldn't want me to be like Santa Claus. I would never be like Santa Claus. I don't want to be Santa Claus, right? So what makes you think Santa Claus coming to me is going to change my mind on what I want to be when I grow up, right? It doesn't make sense. But I just hope parents are able, or people out there are able to see and understand that kids are who they are, right? Like, I didn't grow up wanting to like someone of a certain gender because I want to, right? Like, it's how I felt. Like, it's instilled in me, like, no matter what changes or anything, But it is what it is. People are not ready for that conversation, so yeah.
For sure.
We've come towards the end of the show.
Oh, already?
Right. But where would you like us to find you on social media?
Well, you can catch me on Instagram at GayBottomDrag. And yeah, keep an eye out for some stuff that I have.
Any upcoming shows?
I don't have a show until late June. So June 29th, I'll be at Paul Kane Park. Oh, yes, and I'll be playing in the Pride baseball game.
Better keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
This king is coming to slay.
Yes. Gonna go do some splits on the bases. Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Great. Thank you so much for being on my show. It's been an amazing time speaking to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I hope you had fun as well.
Yeah. Of course.
Great, man. Thank you. Bye. Until
Bye.
next time.